Oh, I already had 5. Cool. Blood Surge doesn't look bad. Yeah, it's just missing a couple factors of 10 of damage.
I need time to do that.
Hear me out. Take away the other factors of 10. So the only issue is that monsters in High Enough Pit have trillions of life, so taking away the factors of 10 will lead to some bad scenarios, I think.
I need time to do that. I need time to do that.
Hey, standing in the laser beam and not caring? Pretty cool. Oh, I never fixed my armor. I'll fix my armor later. Yeah, but can you really afford to use Tyraels if you're gonna use Lucian later? You kinda can't, right? Unless you drop Blood Moon, which I don't think you ever would. Like, you need Lucians for the damage scaling. There's kinda no two ways around it. So you're just not going to use Lucian. Oh, you don't use Hardened Bones. Okay. That makes sense. How do you solve armor? Paragon? I'm not using the essence sacrifice, Yamakuki. I'm using the overpower sacrifice. That was just a test to see if it was necessary. It's really nice to see you getting so much well-deserved attention in your stream. Thanks, Frat Time. I appreciate that. Hello? Is Locrins working? Yep, I have a whole video covering it. Although it doesn't work for the crit chance, doesn't work for Shadow Blight procs, which is interesting. Oh, I needed to die. Slither is also pretty tanky, but we should be okay. Well, Sever's not a melee ability. There's no real, like, there isn't. Bone Spear, I would argue, is the only thing that is a ranged ability on the Necromancer. And I guess the drain from Blood Surge. But, like, there's just close combat and distant combat. And all of Necro's skills do both. I don't know. I think people want a sword and board, like, I swing my weapon at the character's Necro build. Is that what we're talking about? Like, you want to swing your sword at the monster and have it seem like that matters. Right. You want a Death Knight build? Yeah, but that's not like what a Necromancer is, though, right? I think you just want a different class in the game. Which is perfectly fine. Like, it's valid to want the things that you want. But that's not really what a Necromancer is at all. It'd be really weird if they added that kind of fantasy to the game. Alright. Well, we did it. I don't feel great about it. But we did it. Got a perfect Evan Piercer? Big. With the drain from Blood Surge mark on Pain Gorgers? Yep. It's dealing damage with anything that isn't a basic skill. This helmet's going to get nerfed. This helmet's going to get nerfed into the ground. You don't see giving Necro a melee ability be all that crazy? Well, again, you have multiple melee attacks. What is a melee attack in Diablo 4? Like, at its core, what is a melee attack? And this seems like a silly question, but I think it's an important question. Because you don't roll to hit in this game. Every attack is just a spell that has an animation and a range, and whether or not it creates a missile. If I want to practice for season 5s, practice what, Lone Ranger? What does practice for season 5 mean? One that super smashes its brothers. But like Reap, you swing your weapon as part of the animation. Hemorrhage, you draw your weapon as part of the animation. Bone Splinters, you swing your weapon as part of the animation. So like, you have that. But you want one of the core skills to do an animation where you swing the weapon at the monster. Reap now benefits from IAS. Like, you want one of these things to have an animation where they swing it at the monster as opposed to not swinging it at the monster. Sure. The animation doesn't really matter. But nothing is you hitting monsters with your weapons in this game. Like, none of them. Nothing that you do. Not when you shoot your crossbow at them. Not when you stab them with your daggers. Not when you smash them with your big hammer. Hitting the monster with your weapon does not do something in the game. There's not hit checks. You don't roll to hit. Everything is just a spell, but you just either do or do not swing your weapon around. But very much the aesthetic of the Necromancer isn't that of a frontline fighter in the fantasy that they're going for. I would also say that it's fairly antithetical to necromancers in the Diablo lore space. So typically when we're talking about wanting a similar aesthetic character, but that charges in and swings its sword at stuff, we're generally talking about Death Knights in the Blizzard ecosystem, which is just very antithetical to the lore of necromancers themselves. So that's why you probably will never get one. Well, no, there's no weapon attacks. You don't actually hit things with your weapons in this game. You just like, you don't actually hit things. You do an animation with your weapon that casts a spell. Like, the barbarian isn't slicing and dicing monsters. He's doing an animation and then a spell happens at them. Because there's like no hit checks. It's the thing occurs in the area indicated by the thing. Yep, this is a two-handed mace. It gives us overpower damage. Oh, this helmet is antithetical to everything that Adam Jackson said in the Campfire PTR chat. Definition of melee off Google. Most barbarian spells require you to click on the monster. Every necromancer skill requires you to click on the monster or hold down shift and left click. Like, if I want to blood surge that monster, I have to click the button. Watch. This won't happen unless I click a monster. Or I hold down shift. The barbarian can also do this. Hey Gibson, bud. I want to get... Hey Gibson. Hey Gibson. Hey, everybody in chat. We're all going to stop for a hot second. We're all going to stop for a hot second. Because I'm very much in my bad bitch hour. Hey, bud. Let's go hang out. Hey, very specifically Gibson. You, right here. This person. How we doing today? What do you need for you to get yourself off? What do you need? What is the thing that you need? Because I tried to give you your attention earlier. I really tried. I tried my damnedest. If we're being fun, we can keep hanging out, boss. If we're being a little bitch boy, you don't get to play anymore. So I just need you to tell me, are you a little bitch boy? Or are we having fun? Because I don't have the energy anymore. I wish I had the energy. But I don't. And I also wish that I could just like ignore you, but I also can't. So I just need to know. I'm gonna give you like... I'll give you like 1 more minute. I just need your help. I need your help. Just so that I can save myself energy. And I will abuse my power like this every single time. So I just need to know. Little bitch boy? Or are we having fun? Shielding Storm getting full HP? It is not, no. Just kick and move on? No, I want to hear him say it. No, I need this. I need this in my life. I've been streaming for too many hours for too many days in a row with too little sleep. And there's something about the PTR that has really brought out the little bitch boys, and it's starting to like really drain me as a human being. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, Gibson. Goodbye forever. You know what's the best part about hiding the user? It doesn't ban them. They can keep watching the videos. They can even comment. But nobody can see it. That's the best part. It shadow bans them. So only people who are not logged in will ever be able to see the comments. But everybody who like actually cares about being on YouTube just won't. And it's so good. I don't see it. They don't see it. Nobody else sees it. They're just screaming into the void. And the extra super best part about it is even if you're screaming at my video that I'm the worst person ever, all it does is drive the algorithm to think that like people are engaging with the content, and it drives more ad revenue to my videos. It's so fucking good. It's so good. There we go. All right. So, how do we further improve upon this build? So obviously, like, my gear is bad. Thanks for hanging out with me while that happened. I really needed that. You know, a lot of people will tell you, like, just don't worry about it, man. Don't let it get to you. Just move on. No, I'm spiteful. I'm spiteful and my heart hurts when people hurt me. You know, like a human. I'm a human being and it hurts when people hurt me, so... Pretending like you can just, like, ignore it is all well and good, but has never actually successfully worked for anybody in any situation where they feel like they can't ignore it, and it makes me feel so good in my heart. To just yell at people being assholes. It makes me feel so good. Okay. You don't have to
subscribe to a
click
bad content
close.
You're a real one.
My whole life. You don't have to click close? DOS, thank you very much for the new tier 1. I appreciate you. The aspect for Blood Surge, Echo, and Minions, bad for this build. The unique amulet, you can use it. It's very bad. Good daily efforts. Always fun to be here. Watching work from A. Jorge, thank you so much, man. For the 5,000, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. That is mighty kind of you. Hey, can I have vulnerable? Can I have chance to apply vulnerable? There it is. That will help a bit. I like this. Yo, thank you very much, Bonesy. What's up, Sirach? What about team? What's up? What's going on? Oh, okay. Well, thanks, man. It's a picture of a hot dog in the middle of a large dill pickle. I don't know why I needed to see it, but that's what it is. So that's where we're at, just kind of in our walk with Jesus. How make the build better? Do 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 do. Da 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 da. How do I make the build better?
Beware the envious, my friend.
Remove curse from bar. We can do that. Add blight. I don't have skill points to add blight. Still going to use 4 Resplendent Sparks to craft a Mythic. I wasn't going to. What do we do, man? I also like just need my gear to be better.
Fashion this into something exquisite. Finest jewels and sunshine. You lose up the last taste.
Yo, have a good one, Yama. Like, I need a better weapon. Why don't I go get a better weapon? Why don't I go get, like, a significantly better weapon? My gloves are fine. This ring is fine. This is fine. This is fine. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna hold on to these for Blood Surge. Testing. I'm gonna generate some gear. I'm gonna generate some gear. Can I have 1-letter names? I can't. The mythic items look very cool now. Yep, 4 Resplendent Sparks to craft mythics.
Take a chance, wanderer. It seems your prayers have been answered. Fair bit of magic. It seems your prayers have been answered. I cannot afford that. Until next time.
Have you tried the Horde yet? The rewards are so poo-poo. I have, yeah. They are aware. Horned Moon, this one, Garm, the Moonrise one, Horned Cudgel of the Moonrise is pretty decent. I would take that off, yeah. Stash tab 4. Thank you. Oh. Am I still upgrading Shade Mist? So we have two options. We have big max life with we can roll Vuln. We have big intellect with a big max life with good overpower, just kind of like strictly better than what we have right now. Oh, but they're fucking 920. Right, the gear that they give you is 920. Fuck. Well, I'm gonna toss this in the garbage, Garm, unless that would offend you. What builds have you been enjoying so far on the PTR? Bone Spirit was very, very good. God damn it.
I cannot do that.
So then actually all I care about is gambling?
That cannot be salvaged.
Okay. Very much like a blood build. You can play blood builds right now. They're just significantly harder to gear for and have lower top ends that they can get into. Fucking Lyft just emailed me. Those are good pants. Wowie. Game keeps locking up. It's hard to hear that. Does anyone know why devs and GMs need people to GM? The answer is they have not finalized the best setup for the PTRs. This is the second one for Diablo 4. The first one was just getting it launched. The second one was getting in a lot of new features. They've received a lot of feedback. They will continue to iterate on and improve this process. One part of it that is valuable is that they do actually want people to like play all the content and test all the content and not just make perfect characters and then try to push the highest pit, because that doesn't cover like 99% of the game. But we have communicated our frustration with the current system and they have heard it. Have I tried Corpse Explosion setup? I haven't tried to make Corpse Explosion do damage because Corpse Explosion just kind of doesn't do damage. Corpse Explosion solves for an issue that the Necromancer has never had, which is how do we do AoE damage, and doesn't solve for the thing that we've always had a problem with, which is how do you do single target damage. So I don't continue to investigate systems which will make me better at doing AoE damage, typically, on the class. What makes no sense is the new minion damage aspect. I think framing it as just the new minion damage aspect is ignoring half of the aspect. And then that may allow the lens through which you're trying to compare these two things to make more sense, possibly. It isn't a new minion aspect. It's an aspect that says that you do 45% damage bonus, which your minions inherit. Except that if you're a minion build, it comes with an essence cost, and if you're not a minion build, it still comes with a static essence cost to gain access to a generic multiplier that's higher than any other generic multipliers which are available, which don't have caveats. So the aspect that only increases your minion damage still has a caveat, but it's not hard to maintain. But this one, which works for everything, does come with a caveat. What is more valuable? Cruor's embrace consuming corpses on every cast so that you can't willingly choose to corpse tendrils? Or having to manually cast Corpse Explosion during a stagger or during a period where you can cast the skill? The analysis of that goes like significantly deeper than just the very simplified version that you've put forward. And it makes it like effectively impossible to not eat corpses unless you very specifically come out of Blood Mist, which has a lot of downsides. I need like a GA mace is what I need. Yeah, I need a GA mace. No, I'm doing two-hander. Going with the big old two-hander. I want like a 2GA two-hander with like int damage or int life. Preferably int life. For builds that don't really consume corpses often, is there a better way to track the Flesh Eater proc? When you're moving between combat scenarios, turn around and consume 4 corpses so that you know when you walk into the next combat scenario, you can consume a single corpse and then activate it. This is the best way that I've found. So then you don't actually have to track it. Evan Piercer got deleted and shadow nerfed. I don't know what deleted means in this context, but it did not get deleted. In Season 4, Blood Artisan's Cuirass stopped scaling to a single 2x multi and started scaling with your max life over base life, which isn't indicated anywhere and I think is a bug. And I think in the PTR, I haven't tested it myself, but I think that that's not the case. So I'm leaning towards the scaling for Blood Artisan's Cuirass is currently with max life over base life and is a bug. So I would not expect it to continue to work that way in the future. But I can't say that for certain. Does it work with the new double spirit aspect? Oh, I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. It's very easy to test that in the PTR though. You should be able to see that within a moment's notice. You just put down a bone prison and then trigger it. And if you would care to report back, I would appreciate it. Well, they definitely made it so that you like don't need corpse tendrils on some builds because you don't need grasping veins anymore. The problem is you still need the pixel pull and the crowd control. And that's the problem. Is that we can't do damage once monsters are literally not moving. No, the exact wording for Blood Artisan's Cuirass is that it scales up to 100% of your life. We can look at the wording. But the way that Blood Artisan's Cuirass is worded and the way that it worked prior to this season is that it's based on your current life percent, not your percentage of your maximum life over your base life, but your current percentage of life. Regardless of how much life you have, you only ever have 100% of your life. So it was only ever a 2x multi. In Season 4, since it now scales with maximum life, it can go significantly higher than that. But yeah, there's not much more logic to it than that. It just was changed. It was an undocumented change that I believe is a bug.
Hello, hello. Wow. There's some hello, shining beauty. Not a bad pull, that. Hello, shining beauty.
You don't have the PC version? Gotcha.
Hello, not a bad pull, that. Hello, shining beauty. Wow. Hello, shining beauty.
Wow, that's nothing. Yeah, we can test it.
That cannot be salvaged.
What is the name of the aspect? Have I tested it? I have. It's pretty dog shit. It's pretty really fucking bad. Like, it doesn't pull in all monsters. It seems to launch a missile at a distant monster once every 2 seconds and then pull monsters within a range of it. From what I can tell. Yep, it explodes twice. Yeah, no problem. Kropik. Kropik. Krop. Thank you for the follow. Well, the Shattered Spirit says on cast. You don't cast Bone Spirit, you trigger a Bone Spirit missile generation event from the armor. Did you test Bloodwave already? I did. That was day 1. It's pretty low C tier, I would call it. Have I dropped a unique? I have not. Ranjid, thank you very much for the follow. Hey, if you're watching over on YouTube, by the way, if you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate a like on the video. If you like what you're seeing. Helps me out a ton in the algorithm. Guess I should be looking at this gear. I'm not gonna, but I should be. Wow, somebody's very loud outside. Hey, thanks. Man, I'm tired. Y'all ever been tired before? I have so many videos from yesterday I have to put out. Y'all ever felt the wariness? Oh no.
Sanctuary, wasn't it?
I should find better shelter before I freeze.
Oh no. I've wasted all of our times. Please help me find a buddy to hand me the new exploding boots. I want to try a meme build shout druid. Okay. If anybody has the Rakanoth boots and they want to hand them over to Athos, that's their gamer tag. Hodl. Thank you very much for redeeming the darkness. The darkness has been redeemed, hopefully. The darkness will stay redeemed. Won't you see more weapons from creating barbs? Nope, I wouldn't. Barbarian and the Necromancer can both use the same weapons. But I can't even use the maces that come from the character. I can only gamble them. Because the weapons on the characters are only item level 920. Should have picked Barb at release? No. But that's 2 GAs. This actually would have been the tits. What a cool item. Hey, man. Hey, man. I just need, like, better rolls than what I have on this fucking weapon. Rest in peace to the double dip bug. Do I think there should be an auction house? I sure do. The fact that there isn't an auction house, I think, is actually like the largest misunderstanding of the requirements of this game out of any of the things, basically. This would be better than my current mace if it hit stats. But I was really hoping for like at least a 1 GA good stat, like maximum life weapon. You know what I mean? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Oh. Pretty good little gloves. Yeah, Chris Tucker just faded from the planet. I think I watched like a wild conspiracy TikTok about it, where like Hollywood wanted him to do a bunch of stuff and he just started passing on things. That's why you saw like the surgence of other black comedians that kind of fulfilled a similar role. Something along those lines. I don't know if any of that's true, so like don't quote me, but you know, it's fun to speculate. Oh, boys. Boys, my brain is melting. I think I need a drink. Just a little drink for the boy. What would be a recommended hardcore leveling build? Blood Surge is a really, really good leveling build that you can make incredibly tanky. Also, Minions just does so much damage that you can kind of ignore stuff, but you'll definitely end up dying a couple times because it's a little janky jank. Ooh. But that's just it. $25 million for a comedian who was at the height that he was at that time actually just like isn't an absurd amount of money. Like, that's an absurd amount of money to us. Do I gamble? I don't.
Been answered? Fair bit of magic in that one.
Hey everybody. Hey. How hard is it to get a single weapon? How hard is it? Okay. Alright. I give up. Can I think of anything to like legitimately push the damage of this build further in a meaningful way from what I'm currently doing? I've fixed my armor. My res is good. I think I have every relevant multi. Gravekeeper is kind of Keck W here now that I think about it. I actually don't have a better option, so we'll just give up. This'll, nope, 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 nope. Revenge, kind of. But more life in Paragon doesn't end up being a multiplier. Not really. Because I am sitting on a lot of damage already. $300,000. 1075, 1085, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 with 18, and then Sorry, that was Panda. Panda is my girlfriend. Panda got a promotion today at work. Somebody they worked with quit. Luckily, she didn't like them, and they immediately offered her their job. So that's sick. So yeah, Garm, when I was doing the math here, I was only taking the 695. So I was, what did I calculate it up to? Like 1,500? I can drop the curse from my skill bar. I ran that whole dungeon without proactively doing that, so I'm just gonna wing it for right now. Yep, it was just 100. I agree. I also play on controller, so like proactively casting curse a lot of the time ends up kind of just doing nothing. Because you just can't target shit. There is the other thing that like every single build I play, depending on, like, it has like this variable less good than it should be just because I'm on controller. Which makes me end up playing much more like the casual person plays. So I actually like have a closer experience to them than ultra min-maxed. Which is kind of interesting. Also gonna try this. What if we didn't go for overpower? Then we will do no damage. Because we will have no key passive. And we will lose half of the multipliers that are available to the Necromancer for overpower. So you gain a 30% multiplier on the skill, and then you lose significant amounts of multipliers across the rest of it. Like you lose Bloodbath, you lose the Overpower Sacrifice. You lose the biggest source of additive damage that you can have. Even though it's not high enough, it is existent. need to go back and kill these monsters. Well, sacrificial mathematically isn't better. It's just like mathematically not better. Adding a secondary surge that does 92% damage is a 1.92 multiplier, and sacrificial on a two-hander doesn't get anywhere near that. I think you still have holdouts from the excessive additive bloat that sacrificial used to pretend to give. Potentially. Sacrificial is good. It is not a 1.92 multi though. Do you test Blood Surge with corpses? What I'm currently doing? I'm confused by the question. Or do you mean Crew War's Embrace? If the answer is Crew War's Embrace, then no. Because of how badly it screws up corpse tendrils and being able to use it proactively. On a two-hander as at 8. So this is you get a second surge doing 92% damage. So this just says 1.92 multi. Yeah, with Crew War's Embrace. Yep. GA and GA overpower you can have. Bit late response. Malal, yeah, if you want to give me a hot second, I will come grab that from you. This man dodged my grab. How dare you? Why did I just not crit? Huh. You do have bathed regardless? I don't have sacrificial on this build, my guy. I'm solving for Lucian and having capped res or capped essence with Starlight to maintain max multi there. You get the impression that many builds land around 1, 2, 3 million damage? No, this is literally peasant damage. Does a new aspect for curse apply the bonuses if you don't have points in it? Nope. It applies the curse that you would apply. And if you wouldn't modify the curse at all, it applies the base curse.
I need time to
Not talking about bugs? I'm not talking about bugs either. Bone Spirit without bugs right now does like 15 billion damage. No bugs. 1 to 3 million damage per attack is peasant damage based off the current scaling in the game. Oh, I needed to reset. Thank you. If your build isn't able to output basically like 100 million DPS, it shouldn't expect to be able to speed farm tier 100s. And if it wants to do 120 and above, it needs to be outputting somewhere around like 1 billion DPS. Yes, I looked into the new dagger. Pretty bad, sadly. Chunky boy.
I'm not ready yet. I need more time.
Actually felt significantly better. You heard that Aesop Rock is from Boston? I don't know. So right now the pit is basically bugged for the boss's scaling, and resetting the boss tends to reinstate the scaling that we're currently expecting. I would consider 3 million bad. I would say that 3 million DPS is incredibly low. Bone Spirit currently does the most DPS, yes. Isn't Blood Surge better with Doombringer? It is not. Somebody had a big weapon. Malal. That didn't feel bad at all. You have normal Blood Surge Necro with 30 million crits, Starless Doombringer Shaco? Sure. You would do better with a multiplier if you had one available to you than on Doombringer. As long as you had a comparable item, I guess, is like a really important thing to say there. Like if you personally have like a 4 GA Doombringer with triple crit on max life and that outperforms what you would get from something else, then Doombringer will do better for you. Thank you very much, Malal. Appreciate you. Alright, let's temper this thing. Luckily, there aren't good blood tempers. I think I'm going to put Rathmos back onto my weapon, but kind of really want attack speed. That's a really high number, though. All right, you got me. You know what? We're gonna go for it. We're gonna play the game as God intended. In your opinion, what aspects should I put on the weapon then? I don't know what aspects you currently have on your character. I don't really know anything about your build. Yeah, the issue with Bone Splinters isn't doing single target damage. The issue with Bone Splinters is doing AoE damage. That's what you gotta solve for. Shall I link it? I'm not super interested in doing like one-on-one build coaching currently. I'm currently trying to do this thing as opposed to that thing. But the thing that I would say is if you sit down and do the math, depending on what your setup looks like, you should be able to add on more damage from using a weapon that isn't Doombringer than with using Doombringer. That doesn't mean that Doombringer isn't currently the best thing for your current setup, because using something like Doombringer should basically modify the entirety of your character, and it's not just the difference of swapping out a weapon. It is the difference of like completely reimagining how you prioritize stats in your Paragon, etc. Did we ever find out how Aphotic and Metamorphosis and Blood Mist perform? I'm not sure what Aphotic would do with that, Vanilla Gorilla. Aphotic makes your skeleton warriors do shadow damage. So I assume we're talking about a different aspect. Thinking of the Blood Mist aspect that causes corpse explosion. That is called Explosive Mist. How do they work together? It doesn't modify the behavior of Explosive Mist in any meaningful way. There may be scenarios where you dash too far away, out of range, between the trigger of the corpse and the trigger of the corpse explosion, because those have a bit of a delay. So you might run into that issue, maybe? We could roll the maximum life to see if we can get a perfect roll. Seven off perfect, I'll take that, thank you. If you put Blood Mist and Metamorphosis together, like to answer that one, because that one is like more relevant. You dash twice as far, and the dash is at the speed of Metamorphosis, and you get the Metamorphosis effect, and it's very, very fast. Except that takes up your boot and your amulet aspect. So I can't think of a current type of content where that is super relevant, but it's very cool. I'll take a max roll on max life, honestly. I'm not offended by that at all. What's up? Gauntlet? Well, that was just the issue. Moving that fast would definitely help between certain sections of the Gauntlet where you're going to a respawn shrine. But most of Gauntlet is killing monsters while running, hence why move attacking was so powerful. And you would have to come out of Blood Mist, so you wouldn't, well, it probably still would be good. It's hard to say. All right, let's go see how much different this is just with like a significantly stronger weapon. How long does this build need to clear 100? That's a great question. Whole game is a bug? Well, that's not true, right? Like when I clicked that town portal, it brought me to the town I wanted to go to. I think it is very fair to say, and also we're in like a PTR where we're literally testing bugs, right? The majority of things in the game do not have a bug associated with them. A large volume of things have bugs associated with them. Those are like both accurate statements. Which way should I go to not lose out on monsters? $78 mil? We never talked about the fact that Blood Surge is overpowered because it doesn't care about Wind Wall at all. Checkmate. Oh, I need a crit potion on right now. I lost crit chance? Oh, the Blood Surge radius! When you stacked two monsters on other sides of a corpse tendrils, but it got knocked back. Corpse, look at it, Blood Surge radius. How come those monsters didn't get pulled? Oh, you know what sucks? If you freeze monsters while they're getting pulled by corpse tendrils, they don't get pulled. I think I've proven that that's true. But I've noticed that sometimes monsters won't get pulled by my corpse tendrils even though they should. And I think it's because I've been running Lucky Hit Chance Freeze on a lot of my gear. But those frozen monsters did get pulled. Oh, cool. I targeted that corpse all the way over there for corpse tendrils. That's definitely what I wanted to do.
So, you subscribe to a bad content creator.
Lone Ranger, thank you so much for the 8
A
months.
real one.
So I will say, the Naga, these like snake shamans, are typically the bane of my existence. I am not particularly tanky. This is feeling like fairly good. Seems way stronger than Blood Lance. The big thing that Blood Surge has going for it is that it says trigger twice. What it doesn't have going for it is the much lower cost and the much higher lucky hit chance, which allows for just like significantly better uptime on vulnerable, as well as not requiring as many things to be able to max out its like resource management. And then you get to add on more attack speed or crit chance through potions, or enjoy more maximum life through potions, as opposed to what I'm doing right now with maximum resource. Also, Blood Lance gets to fight at a distance and not have to be right next to monsters, so it's significantly tankier. It also doesn't lose as much time in its reapplication of damage, because it can just start attacking from wherever it is, as opposed to having to get back up close to the target. You know what is a cool upside though, Garm? This one's like a little bit harder to quantify. Blight does come along with better corpse gen. Oh, you suck out loud. I was kind of hoping to just tank that. And it also procs lucky hit chance. That is a benefit, because you can do this while you're re-engaging. Your first trip into Hell Titan wasn't bad, except for the orange couple of monsters that pop up at once. Not sure what they're called, but they were spamming me badly. The orange couple of monsters. I'm not sure what that is. The purpose is the largest multipliers you can put onto the build. Do you have time to do manual C? Of course you do. You're the one who always talks about being able to weave in doing corpse explosions. You confuse me sometimes, man. Turns out bigger sword feel better. Elden Ring is on sale, or is the DLC on sale? Elden Ring, good game. Elden Ring, good game. Okay. Do I feel like fairly confident about how I feel about this? Probably. Does anybody know who has like the highest blood surge clear right now on season 4? Do they have a video? They're doing Shaco, Heart and Bones, Crew Wars, Blood Moon. Metamorphosis, Doombringer, Rathmos, Blood Bathed, Sacrificial on the Amulet, sure. With Starless Skies. Yep. Yep. Oh, they're just not even trying to stagger. The single point in transfusion seems bad. There's no way they actually keep exploit uptime. There's like a 0% chance. Maybe. Oh damn, Wither's a really efficient willpower. That's good to know. Okay. It's currently doing 117. Say it's about 8 minutes for a 100. Oh yeah, no, this is super duper. A very slow boy. A very, very slow boy. The issue being that the pit also takes like twice as long to clear the minions to get the progress. It's very weird. Yes I do, Kev. But it doesn't, sadly. Oh, prison is for the vulnerable. That makes sense. But he doesn't have tendrils. How the fuck do you tank stuff? Just raw max life? Sure. We're talking about like perfect gear. Okay. I don't hate that. There's also no such thing as Decrep size and Iron Maiden size anymore. There's just Curse size.
Greetings. How shall I guide my hammer?
Curse size. So yes, I think that should apply to this. But still don't think it should have an effect on the aspect size. Yeah, I fundamentally disagree with that mentality, but that's also okay. Okay. How do I feel about this? You just can't afford to put DR on anymore from Territorial, I feel like. Because additive is so garbage useless now. Without DR, raw HP means nothing. Well, that's not accurate. they are both multiplied together to figure out your effective HP. Yes, I agree with that. All right, let's update my planner. I think I'm dead set on Lockrins. It says 1.9 times damage with a single max resource crit and average 6 out of 12 masterworking, and that's just really, really hard to beat. And if you triple masterwork crit it alone, it says 1.73 multi, because you're gonna use Lucian's. It and Lucian together with triple masterwork crit is 127, 2.27 multi. 2.27 multi versus let's say you can only GA one of them, right? So Tides of Blood, I want to do the math. It's 127. So it's 2.27 versus Tides of Blood. Well, let me just put what it is. This is the multiplier total. No, I do have to put it like that. So you go from a 1.3 and a 1.18 to a 2. We're cutting overpower by 3. Cut it by 3. Because we were doing like one with our buffs up like 1 million crits on the regular surges. Is it fair to cut this by 3? So it's 100% multi, so it's actually a 33%. Wait, so it'd actually just be better to go Coalesce Blood. Right, so it's the difference between a 100, which is a 33, with a 36, versus a 20 and a 60. Yeah, strictly better to go Coalesce Blood. Okay. So ends up being a 1.6 and a